everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. Starting with a quick movie review. I only went to see one movie this week because this weekend was just kind of busy and annoying, and I just didn't have time. Also, the times of the movies are just like not convenient for me. But I did go to see the new Disney cartoon Strange World, which was refreshing because it's nice to see a Disney cartoon that's an adventure and not a musical, with little animal creatures and stuff. I mean, there are animal creatures in this, but they're not like they're not normal. They're strange. It was a good movie. I have to say that the theme of like father and son and getting along and all that whole nonsense, it's not subtle. You know exactly where it's going to end up. So it doesn't really hold an emotional punch. But it's like that doesn't really work because it's too obvious. But the actual adventure that they go on is very cool. Visually, it's stunning and amazing, and like it's a fun adventure, and there's good humor and action and excitement, and I didn't see the reveal at the end coming, so that was fun too. I will say that I sort of regret seeing it in 3D. You know, I love 3D. I always opt for the 3D showing. However, the 3D was not great. It was very shallow and flat, and they didn't really push it. And I was really upset because the visuals of this world are stunning. I got some serious No Man's Sky vibes off of some of the weird creatures and the like colored grass and whatever. But I wanted the 3D to put me in that world, in that strange world. I wanted to be in it, and it didn't really do that for me. I think it might have been the projection, but then the 3D trailers before the movie were pretty good. Like the Avatar 2 trailer looked amazing, and even the Little Mermaid trailer had some serious depth swimming through the cavern and stuff, so that surprised me, actually. But Strange World's 3D was kind of like, meh. And I kind of wished that I'd seen it like in the Dolby Digital Theater or something, so I could have really bright, rich colors and stuff. That would have been really probably more visually impressive, and I might have enjoyed it more than the flat 3D. But I don't know. Your theater might project it differently. I've seen people online saying they love the 3D, so who knows. It does also get bonus points for one of the main characters, Ethan, who is gay. He has a crush on a boy, and it is just a casual side plot, mined for some dad humor and stuff. And it's wonderful because his parents and even his grandfather, when he finds out that he has a crush on a boy, they don't react. It's treated as normally as it honestly should be in society here. So that was refreshing. So I honestly think this might actually be Disney's first legitimately gay character. It's not just a background person or a line of dialogue you can misinterpret. It's a literal actual boy with a crush on another boy, which is nice. So it was enjoyable. You might want to wait for Disney Plus. I don't know. Depends on if you want to see it on the big screen or not. I also wanted to mention, ever since Elon Musk took over Twitter, everybody's like, "Oh, Twitter's gonna die." Some just left out of moral issues, and then others are like, "Well, it's gonna blow up because he's firing everybody, and there's not going to be any staff to maintain it." So I started looking for alternatives. I joined Twitter back in the day because of Gay Gamer. A bunch of us went to E3, and Big Boss Flynn was like, "Hey, are you on Twitter?" And I said, "No, I am not. I had no interest in Twitter." He's like, "Sign up for Twitter so that you can tweet about E3. And then like the Gay Gamer account will retweet you and you'll get followers and people will follow you." And so I gained like hundreds of followers because I tweeted about E3. And it started out about gaming, but then of course it became other things because Twitter is purely random, and I'll tweet about movies and TV and comics and whatever. A new album I liked. But one of the things that I like to do with Twitter is tweet my virtual photography from video games, which, you know, I like photo modes. So I was like, oh God, if Twitter blows up, what am I going to do with my virtual photography? I don't want to put that on Facebook. Nobody there cares about it. Like maybe a small portion of my friends do. Um, so I was Googling around to see if there was an alternative place to post and share virtual photography online. And I discovered there's this app called Cactus. And I said, oh, great. It's a social network for gamers. And it's like, share your virtual photography in high res. It'll be great. And I'm like, okay, terrific. So I download the app from the Google Play Store. And I try to sign up. And nothing happens. It just spins. So I said, well, maybe there's something wrong with the server or something. I try again the next day. Nothing. Wait a few days. Try again. Nothing. I tweeted about it, tagging Cactus. Heard nothing. So I tried direct messaging them, and they were actually surprisingly responsive. And someone there responded and said, oh, you must be on Android. That doesn't work. You need to sign up for the beta program, and then it'll automatically update you to the new beta version of the app, which will let you sign up. And it did. But I have to say the app is not terribly intuitive, and it's kind of a mess, and like I don't know what's going on. And I posted a photo, and I tried to post a virtual photo from God of War of the Witch's Cauldron, which did really well on Twitter. I thought it was a great picture. But then when it posted on Cactus, it posted all horizontally. And it's just top part. And I was like, what is this? This is horrible. So I was like, well, this sucks. So what the hell? And I posted a horizontal picture, and that posted okay. But like I was responding to the guy, and I said, you really should have like a workable version of the app in the Google Play Store. Like, what the heck? And he was like, oh, I totally agree with you. But the whole thing is in beta, so we're still working on it, and we're hoping to have it up proper in January. So and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't realize the whole thing was still in beta, which is why things aren't really working, and it's like I can't figure out what I'm doing. And I mentioned the vertical photo, and he's like, oh yeah, that's a known bug. We're working on it. And I was like, okay, can you tell me how to delete it? Because I can't figure that out. And then he's like, oh, you have to go into the share button, and in the share button is the delete button. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but at least now I know where it is. So yeah, that's still not ready for prime time. So thankfully, Twitter has not blown up yet. Maybe it won't. And obviously, I am playing God of War. And I have to say that I'm still enjoying it, but I have run into a few things where I've encountered enemies that have the purple health bars, and they're really, really difficult. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to come back to this. But those are side things. They're not on the main quest. The main quest is still fine. I've hit some bosses that were a little tricky, and I've died and had to try again, and then did it, and it's fine. But I'm not crazy about the leveling system in this game. You earn experience points, but that doesn't level you up. You level up by buying and upgrading your equipment, your armor and your weapons, and like upgrading like your rune attacks, and I think maybe your skills. I'm not sure if upgrading your skills also contributes to your level. It might. I don't know. I haven't noticed that change yet. But I feel like it's mostly just your equipment. And so like by upgrading your armor and your weapons, you'll upgrade them to level 3 and level 4 and level 5, and that'll get you up to a little bit more. And I finally got up to level 5, but I feel like I'm not like a high enough level. I feel like I should be leveling up more, but I don't know. As I said, the main quest seems to still be playable. It's just the side things where I run into the really difficult enemies that I'm like, yikes, and they kill me in like 2 hits. So I got to figure out how to get around them. Maybe that's, end game stuff. After I've finished the main quest, I can go back and do that, and then maybe I'll be like level 7 or 8, and I'll be able to take care of them a little bit easier. I don't know. But yeah, that's my only problem with the game is the leveling system. I'm not crazy about it. Also, I seem to recall when this game first came out, people were complaining about the kid. And I'm just like, when I was playing this game, I'm like, I don't understand why everyone hates this kid. This poor kid, he's sick. I wanted to protect him. I was like, no, nothing happens to boy. This is terrible. And I didn't understand why people didn't like him until I got to the part in the story where Atreus is finally told that he is the son of a god and therefore a god himself, at least half god. And now he's this cocky little shit, and oh my god, he's fucking insufferable. I'm like, oh my god, now all his little dialogue asides, I'm just like, I want to smack him with my axe. So I get it. Now I get it. Hopefully he gets better by the end of the game and doesn't continue like this, because then I'm not going to want to play this sequel that just came out if he's still having that same attitude. So that is it. I've talked way too much for this episode, and I will save the rest for next time. Bye!